In baseball, both teams can't win. And in golf, only one person wins. But at Everybody Wins Iowa, everybody wins!
If you were always the last person chosen to play on the team at recess, or you always came in second but never first, then listen carefully.
By spending just one lunch hour a week reading with a local elementary student, everybody wins. To learn more, go to everybodywinsiowa.org. Everybody Wins Iowa, where everybody wins!
Are you sick of hearing yourself sing in the shower?
Ooh, baby, baby.
Save your ears. 88.1, The Edge.
Surfboard, raining on that wood.
Oh, what you falling for? Baby, do you dare to do? Yeah, I'm playing on you tonight. Hunt you down, eat you alive.
KDPS, Des Moines Shuffle Station. This is DJ KD with you on this lovely Thursday night. You're listening to The Edge 88. So I'm sure many of you have heard about the 14-year-old that built his own clock and then brought it to school, and then his teacher actually had him arrested because she thought it was a bomb. So many cool things have come out of this. All the charges have been dropped, and he has a trending hashtag on Twitter. And the president also tweeted at him, inviting him to come to the White House and show him this clock that he made, which was pretty cool. So it's cool to see how something negative turned into something so positive with that. Up next is Blue Moon by Beck. You're listening to Edge 88 Des Moines Radio Mashup. This is DJ KD with you. So I've been following this model. She's an Australian model. Her name's Madeline Stewart. She has Down syndrome. And I've kind of been following her story of her breaking through the model industry and trying to make a name for herself. And she actually just debuted Sunday at the New York Fashion Week. And I thought that was so cool. Like, I just love that she's breaking, that stereotypical model label. And, just opening doors for a lot of people. That was very, very cool to see. Up next is Untraveled Road by 1,000 Foot Crutch. You're listening to Edge 88. This is DJ KD. So in Florida, a 23-year-old went outside to take a smoke break, and he was going to smoke an e-cigarette when it exploded in his mouth. The explosion burned his cornea, his hand, fractured his neck and his fingers, and it also blew a hole through his palate and left a hole at the roof of his mouth, so he actually has to get fitted for a prosthetic to close the hole. This kind of startled me when I read this because my roommate actually smokes these e-cigarettes, and I had no idea that they could potentially be dangerous like this. So think twice before you smoke an e-cigarette, because that could possibly happen to you. This is Des Moines Radio Mashup Station. You're listening to Edge 88 Des Moines Radio Mashup Station. This is DJ KD. Former Daily Show Jon Stewart host joined many 9/11 first responders on Capitol Hill Wednesday to push Congress to pass a permanent extension of this act called the James Zadroga 9/11 Health and Compensation Act, which will start to expire in the fall. And what that does is it helps people who are sick after working on Ground Zero after 9/11. I really like this article. I feel like 9/11 isn't recognized as much, especially like in schools, and it was cool to see a public figure like that, trying to get an act like that to continue. All right, up next is Work Song by Hoser. You're listening to Edge 88. This is DJ KD. So Kelly Johnson, former Grandview alum, has made news recently with her nurse monologue in the Miss America pageant, and she's gotten a lot of criticism. Well, not criticism, but she's gotten a lot of attention. The View actually criticized her and said that she came in a nurse's uniform and basically read her emails out loud. A lot of people have been supportive, especially nurses. I've seen this reposted so many times on Facebook. And today she was actually on the Ellen show, which was really cool. Kelly said that she would put Ellen on the $10 bill, I believe it was. And Ellen actually gave her $10,000 for graduate school, which was really neat. Another reason why Ellen should be the first woman on the $10 bill. You're listening to Edge 88. You're listening to Des Moines Radio Mashup Station. This is DJ KD. So Uber, which is like a personal taxi, now has business profiles. So companies that are enrolled with Uber for Business will be able to change, their personal credit card over to their business credit card. Before, it was kind of, they just got credited back with receipts from Uber. So I thought that was pretty cool. I love Uber. I take Ubers all the time. They're really convenient. The prices are pretty fair, I think. So check your businesses, check your jobs. Maybe they'll be switching over to that too, and you won't have to be wasting your own gas anymore. You're listening to The Edge 88. Up next is Talking Body by Tuvlo. You're listening to Des Moines Radio Mashed Up. This is DJ KD with you on this Thursday night. So right now I'm on a diet, and I have crazy cravings because I'm like sticking to like salad, carrots, cucumbers, all that boring healthy stuff. And I found out that some of your cravings are a little like your body's telling you you're craving something, but you're really craving something else. I found that carbs like bread and pasta, you're actually craving sugar. That's what your body wants. Ice cream, you're tired. Cheese, you're actually craving sugar. I crave carbs and cheese a lot, so I must be craving sugar a lot. And today I actually had a cinnamon sugar pretzel, and it relieved all my cravings. All right, up next is Congregation by Foo Fighters. You're listening to Edge 88. This is DJ KD. So, unfortunately, last week, former Hawkeye Roy Marble passed away. His son, Carlo Marble, actually goes to Valley in Des Moines, which is really cool. And last Friday, he scored his first touchdown of the season and dedicated it to his dad. He knew that his dad had helped him make that first touchdown of the season, which was awesome. Unfortunately, we lost 2 Hawkeyes last week, but I'm glad that, people are remembering them. So up next is Fear by Blue October. This is The Edge 88.1. This is DJ KD. So today I was walking through Target and I noticed a lot of pumpkin spice latte flavored items now. And my manager also bought pumpkin spice latte flavored cream cheese today. So Dani, what do you think about that? Have you seen any ridiculous pumpkin spice latte flavored things?
I just feel like it's everywhere now. It kind of started last year, and now each fall that's what everyone looks forward to is a pumpkin spice lattes at Starbucks. And Oreos came out with pumpkin spice flavored cookies, but they come out with a billion different flavors all the time. Also, I don't know if you saw online, there was kind of this joke going around that there was pumpkin spice flavored condoms.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Twitter actually, and people were like retweeting it, and they were really excited about it.
Oh,
and it turned out not to be real.
Right, it wasn't even real. And then the condom company came on, posted online, this isn't real. They made like a big joke about it, but I mean that just shows how ridiculous it's getting.
Yeah, and imagine how much money they'd make though if they actually did that. Like
they probably next year it's probably going to be out because people were so interested in it.
Oh my gosh. All right, this is The Edge 88.1.
That was Torpedo by Gillette Johnson. You're listening to 88.1 The Edge. All right, so I was reading online, reading some stories, and I came across a pretty interesting one. There's a foreign airline that's offering airplane nannies during the flight. So if parents don't feel like they want to handle their kids throughout the flight, or they're worried about them crying and having to deal with that, they can pay to have a nanny on the flight. So these nannies will feed the kids, entertain the kids. They're trained in child psychology. So parents are spending quite a bit of money for these nannies. Now, I love to travel, and I've always kind of wondered when I get older and I have a family, how will I do that? Will I fly with kids? There's always that problem with the kids crying on the flight, and everyone hates the parents. But in my opinion, if you are a parent and you can't handle your kids on a flight, then you maybe shouldn't be flying. I think that the airplane nanny might be taking a little bit too far, but it made the airline extremely popular, so it's doing well, so obviously people like it. All right, you are listening to 88.1 The Edge. Keep It Clean by Willie Watson is next. This is 88.1 The Edge. So Halloween's coming up in a couple weeks. Do you have any plans? What are you going to dress up as, DJ Katie?
Well, I think I'm going to dress up as Harley Quinn, and I'll probably go bar hopping.
Yeah, that's probably pretty typical college student
Yeah.
Halloween
Yeah.
plans. Well, I was actually looking up Halloween costumes online for my boyfriend because he can't figure out what he wants to be. And I came across what's supposed to be like the top trending costume for this year. You have any ideas what that might be?
Probably Miley Cyrus and maybe Nicki Minaj.
Like the big fake butt thing?
Yeah, big fake booty.
Right. That's probably something I would expect, but actually, that's not it at all. I was really surprised. The trending costume for this year is a full hazmat, like Ebola suit.
No.
Yeah. Like
No.
a full mask, gloves, everything.
Why?
Right? Maybe a little bit distasteful, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be my
Like,
opinion.
who even thought of that?
Someone that, I don't know,
Ugh.
just has that mind. And people are buying it, obviously, if it's the top trending costume of the year.
Yeah.
That's
No.
ridiculous. I guess we know what to look out for. To add on to all of that, the costume is just under $80.
No.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
The only way I would spend that money on it is if it was like actually working and I could wear it during an Ebola breakout, like, or outbreak in Iowa.
Have it be like a multifunctioning
Right.
costume.
It better be for real if I'm paying $80 for
Yeah.
it. All right. Out of My Head by Brett Dennen is next. You're listening to 88.1 The Edge.
This is The Edge, 88.1. This is DJ KD. So this weekend I went to the Machine Gun Kelly concert at Valor Ballroom, and almost got in a little altercation with some ladies because they kept yelling at me because I was jumping around. Who goes to a concert and just stands there? Especially we were up right in the front almost. So kind of, you know, if you go to a concert and you stand up front, that's kind of an expectation, is to jump around and maybe get hit a little bit, you know, elbowed. People are moving around, I don't know. People just, those girls expecting me to just stand still. I mean, when you guys go to concerts, do you just stand around? No. All right, this is The Edge, 88.1.
You're listening to The Edge, 88.1. So something kind of scary that I was reading about in the news here. There was an Italian nurse who was arrested for allegedly killing up to 38 patients. You heard about that, DJ
no,
Katie?
I haven't actually.
Yeah, and the reasoning, that's what makes it even worse, if it could get worse, is that she killed them because she thought that they were annoying or that their family members were annoying.
Okay, my question is, how did she get away with killing that many patients?
Right? Like, she got away with at least 38 before there was any investigation into it.
So, did she try to make it look like natural causes, or what?
Yeah, if she would, like, up the doses on things, that kind of stuff, and people just, you know, there was someone that was in the hospital, so, you know, they just thought they were sick, got sick, whatever, and she was killing these patients. Now, I've never had to be hospitalized or anything, but I've never really thought about it that way. I mean, when you're going into the hospital, you're putting your life in the hands of a nurse, a doctor that you don't know, and you hope that they're not psycho and are going to kill you.
Well, I'll definitely be thinking about that the next time that I'm
It's
in
a
the
great thing to think
hospital.
about.
Well, even a doctor's checkup. That's
Right.
all I'm going to think about now.
I know. Apparently, her coworkers said that she was always kind of like a cold person, which is unusual for a nurse.
Yeah.
And that they were even questioning how there were so many patients dying under her care, but obviously we now know that.
Yeah, well, they waited a little bit too long to investigate that one.
Right.
Jeez.
All right, up next is White Lies by Max Frost. You're listening to Edge 88.1. That was Tongues by Joywave. You're listening to the Edge 88.1. So this weekend, I had my first experience at a pumpkin patch. So I am 20 years old, and I have never been to a pumpkin patch before, never when I was little, and I had an awesome time. I didn't really know what to expect. I went with two friends. They had never been to this pumpkin patch either. It was out by Ames, so it was a little bit of a drive, but it was way worth it. There was so much to do, so we got there. It was like a little bit over $10 to get in, not too bad. And then we took a hayrack ride out to the actual pumpkin patch. Huge pumpkin patch. I didn't really know what to expect. There were pumpkins everywhere, every kind of pumpkin that you could think of. And maybe this is just a common thing, but I was amazed. So we picked out our pumpkins, It was super cheap. I've always carved pumpkins every October, but I've always just gone to like Hy-Vee or something and bought a pumpkin. These pumpkins were 39 cents a pound, so super cheap for a pumpkin. And it was just an awesome experience. It was so much fun. I bought apples and we were eating apple donuts. It was awesome. Definitely something I would recommend if you have never been to a pumpkin patch before. I are already planning on going back again this week if I have time. All right, you're listening to 88.1 The Edge. You're listening to 88.1 The Edge. All right, DJ KD, I kind of have a gross story for you. Are you ready for this?
All right, hit me.
Okay, so there is a woman who traveled to Vietnam for a month. And when she came back, she kept like seeing something hanging out of her nose a little bit, and she had gotten in like a wreck or some kind of accident in Vietnam and thought that it was just like dried up blood that kept coming out.
Yeah.
And this was going on for a week or so, and then she's in the shower and feels it like by her mouth, hanging out by her mouth. So she makes a decision, probably right decision, to go to the doctor, figure out what's going on.
Okay, yeah.
You ready for this?
Okay.
Turns out there was a 3-inch long leech living in her nose. Come on, like, how do you not know that? How did she even breathe, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
3 inches?
In a nostril. How was she even breathing? Yeah.
How does that even happen? Like,
the doctors told her that they thought that it probably was a lot smaller when it got into her nose, and then it was feeding off of her blood, and so it got so much bigger, and they literally just like ripped it out.
Oh my, she's lucky she didn't get sick from that.
Right. The doctors actually told her that if they would have left it in longer, it could have made its way up into her brain through her sinuses.
Gosh, no.
Yeah.
Seriously though, like, how do you not feel something that big up there?
No,
like, you
kidding.
Can, like, even when you have, like, this may sound gross, but like a big booger, like, you can tell.
Right. Like, I mean, seriously, how is she breathing? Like, unless this girl has a huge nose that she can fit a 3-inch long leech in. Come on. Gross. But at least, she got it taken care of before it got that bad. So,
yeah,
I can give that to her, I guess. Yeah. If we're trying to make it a positive thing. All right. Up next is Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind.
This is The Edge, 88.1. This is DJ KD. So I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing about Ebola, but people have been making it into a joke, I feel like, and it's really not. I don't know if you guys have been following the news, but I've read that 2 nurses have been tested positive for Ebola in Dallas, Texas. And that's scary. Like, one guy brought it into the U.S., and now, 3 people have had it. And one of those nurses got on an airplane and flew to Ohio or somewhere with her, having the Ebola virus, and flew back. And now the people that were on the flight with her are recommended to go turn themselves in for quarantine. And that's really scary. Like, I don't know why people keep making it a big deal, because it's spreading really fast, and the hospital is having a hard time getting under control, especially if 2 nurses have been tested positive with Ebola. Nurses who are taking care of people and possibly spreading it to other patients. So, it's a pretty scary deal, and I think people need to take it more seriously and keep up with the news and find out what's happening, because it could spread fast, and, if we don't get it under control right away, it could get serious. All right, this is The Edge, 88.1. You're listening to The Edge 88. This is DJ KD. So I came across a really interesting new invention called the portable pizza pouch. It's cool, but not very practical. It's literally like this plastic pizza-shaped pouch that clips around your neck, and you can wear it like a necklace. And the idea for it is you can just put an extra piece of pizza in it, and you can just carry it around with you, and you can eat it whenever you need it, which is cool in theory, but really that pizza would probably get gross throughout the day. But a round of applause for whoever thought of that, because that is pretty cool invention. Up next is LOL Smiley Face. This is DJ KD. You're listening to Des Moines Radio Mashup Station. So a first grader and his parents decided that he was going to get plastic surgery. He was only 6 years old, and he was being made fun of for having elf ears. And it was, really bothering him even at 6 years old. And so him and his parents decided that he was going to get plastic surgery to get rid of what he felt like he had elf ears. And he went through with it, and it actually looks really good. I agree with it completely. I mean, even at 6 years old, if you're being bullied and taunted that badly, I think him and his parents did the right thing. I think it was really cool that his parents allowed him to do that so that he would have a better time at school too, which was cool. Up next is America's Sweethearts. This is The Edge 88. This is DJ KD. So, unfortunately, today there was a shooter at a community college in Oregon, and the shooter's in custody, and the last that I heard, there was 10 people that were killed. My heart really goes out to the victims and the families' victims. Anytime there's like a campus shooting, it always kind of hits home because, I mean, I'm a college student, and I don't know, I always think about like, what if that was my school, or what would I do in that situation? So it's always really scary to read those articles for me. So prayers go out to the victims. Up next is All of the Lights by Kanye West. You're listening to Des Moines Radio Mashup Station. This is DJ KD. So Taylor Swift continues on her path of awesomeness. She's doing so many awesome things this year. Recently, she just donated $50,000 to a GoFundMe page set up by one of her backup dancers to raise money for his 1-year-old nephew who was recently diagnosed with cancer. So all the money she donated will go to his nephew while he undergoes treatment. And originally the GoFundMe page was like set up for just like $20,000, but of course T Swift has to outdo that by a lot. So that's cool. I love how she continues to support not only her fans, but also like her backup dancers. That's so cool. Up next is Should Have Said No by Taylor Swift. You're listening to Edge 88. This is DJ KD with you on this kind of chilly night. Fall's definitely on its way. One woman posted about abortion on Facebook. She made a huge Facebook status rant about it. And just the gist of what she said was that abortion was culturally necessary and that it should be legal, and, just posting her opinion about it. And then she went to some event, and then within a matter of hours, she had thousands of Facebook friend notifications. She had tons of comments and people commenting a lot of like good things like preach and you go girl and stuff like that. And then she also had a lot of negative things, saying that she was wrong, saying really derogatory words about her. And she was even getting death threats, which is pretty scary. It kind of just goes to show, like, you really should be careful what you post on Facebook because literally anybody can see it. All right, you're listening to Des Moines Radio Mashup Station. You're listening to Edge 88. This is DJ KD. So a video's gone viral of a little girl that cries over Adam Levine getting married. For those of you who don't know, Adam Levine is the lead singer of Maroon 5, and he's a very good-looking man. And I think he got married in July, so pretty recently. The videos of this little girl in her car seat in a van, and her mom tells her that Adam Levine got married, and she just bursts out in tears. She's really upset. I think that she can speak for most girls in America, and guys too. We feel you, girl. Up next is Blah 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 by Kesha featuring 303. You're listening to Edge 88. This is DJ KD. I found an article recently about what like being on your phone a lot can lead to. And just a few of them that really like stuck out to me was it can lead to depression. Seeing like happy photos on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that can make people feel depressed, and it can also trigger nomophobia, which is the fear of being without your phone. I see that a lot in people these days. People frantically search for their phone if they leave it on the counter or get stuck in the couch and they can't find it or something like that. And it can also give you ringxiety, which is it makes you check your phone constantly. Like, you're constantly checking to see if you have a message or a notification. I actually took a class where I had to go without my phone or getting on social media and stuff like that, and it was a real eye opener. I didn't realize like how much I got on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm a huge Snapchatter. And after that class, like I still try to make my social media time and stuff like that very limited, so that I don't get ring anxiety or nomophobia, because I don't want my phone taking over my life. Up next is "Hold It, Don't Drop It" by J-Lo. This is The Edge 88. This is DJ KD. So I came across a new peanut butter line called Steam, and it's based in Massachusetts. And this company came up with this peanut butter that has, in 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, as much caffeine as a cup of coffee, which is really cool, actually. It would be a great way to start your morning. Instead of having a cup of coffee and having nasty coffee breath in the morning, you could just make some toast and put this caffeine peanut butter on there, which is way better. I mean, I do love coffee, but I like peanut butter a lot more. So this is definitely a college essential, and I actually even checked it out, and I have one sitting in a shopping cart ready for me to check out as soon as I get home tonight. So pretty excited about that. Up next is "Pause" by Plain White Tees.